Justice with Judge Mablean will be life because in everything we do, it involves the law.
You came to court to testify about what you heard, what you saw, and what you know.
She's fair.
I don't have a hearing problem. This ear works good. This one works even better.
She's firm.
I'm not responsible for that ticket, and I'm not going to pay for it.
Who says you're not going to pay for it? I make that decision, not you.
She's honest.
What you have to say?
All I have to
Nothing.
say.
This is Justice with Judge Mablean. Denny Waring is suing Jerry Canning in the amount of $729.45. Mr. Waring claims Mr. Canning backed out on their business deal. Mr. Canning claims he upheld his agreement with the plaintiff.
In the matter of Denny Waring versus Jerry Cannon, you're suing him for $729.45 for the value of the marijuana products that you supplied him.
Yes,
in exchange for his endorsement of your products.
Absolutely.
Right? Your establishment.
Yes, my
Not
dispensary.
the products, the establishment. Talk to me.
So, you know, yeah, just that. He was my promoter. We've been friends for a really long time. We went to high school together. That's how we know each other. Ran track in high school. Then we went to the same college and became roommates. So we lived together for 4 years. At that time, I wasn't running. He really is a great athlete and excelled. And after we graduated from college, I majored in business and horticulture. He was in athletics and I think music. And we ended up going our separate ways. But then when I came up with my dispensary idea and I started to get my business going, I reached out to him because we're still friends. And he's been running in these big, high-profile races. And I thought, you know what? I wanted to start dispelling the stigma of medical marijuana being to get high only, and I wanted to bring it into sort of just that restorative and holistic sort of way and atmosphere, and what better way to do that.
Restorative and holistic.
Yeah, but you would be surprised. You know, medical marijuana has so many different purposes that like exceed going into just the normal idea of smoking a joint.
Yeah.
You can be used, in this case, we're using it a lot for muscle recovery. Muscle recovery and diet in particular. So having to carb load, eating a lot, it can stimulate your appetite. And then in these long races in particular, the actual salves and creams that we will give are all organic, like coconut oil based.
What do the salves and creams do?
They help to relax the muscles in a way, and it's a deep relaxation of the muscle instead of just simply stopping the pain sensors of the brain. It actually allows your muscles to sort of really go in and start to like loosen up and not react in the way that they would if they were cramping. It's basically just a muscle relaxer. What he was using it for primarily was, like I said, the topical creams, and that sort of, it's like recovery, the recovery from after running the race, and also during the races, he runs, I mean, I can't even imagine running for an hour, and he runs for like 24 hours. So you can imagine there's a greater sense of recovery, and there's a greater wear and tear on the body that some of these medications that you can get in pill form or like from doctors, they don't really go into the recovery. It's really more about actually just dulling the pain, stopping the pain.
Dulling the pain, right.
Yeah.
So Mr. Canning was used to promote whatever. You guys had an agreement for him to promote your business. Tell me about that agreement.
So I started my business in the first of last year, and at the same time I went in, I got a few promoters, he being one of my primary ones, to come on board, and in exchange for quite a bit of free products, a total about $243 a month worth of free products. All they have to do is social media presence, mention my dispensary, where they get the products that are working for them, talk about it in interviews, tell them, you know, in interviews with the media, any type of photo presence that it was supposed to be related. And for the first year, everything was on point. The mentions in the press were great. I would never have to get on him for putting stuff on social media every week. He was doing his, he was doing his work. And then around the first of the year, around the first race that he ran in this last year, I saw a photo of him wearing a logo of another dispensary. One of my big competitors, actually. So you can imagine that I wasn't very happy. I approached him about it. We kind of talked about it. We had a little bit of a, conversation. I was upset, a little hurt, to be honest, more than anything. And I thought we had resolved the matter. So then his second race of this year, I ended up showing up. And I had gone to a few races in the previous, not as many as I'd like, but I'm working like 60 hours a week getting my business off the ground. And so I go to this race, I go out of my way to go, and I see him that he's not only not mentioning my products, and not only has the social media presence gone down, but now he's wearing the competitor's logo on his shirt again. And this time it's not even just the logo, it's the URL, it's the phone number, it's like all their information. Still using, but then I see that he's still using my products.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Mablean.
What about that part?
So he has me as an exclusive
As
agent.
his exclusive agent.
Exactly. I don't have him exclusively as my provider.
And later,
His armored truck was in the bike lane, and I had to veer into traffic, and I was clipped by oncoming traffic.
Justice with Judge Mablean. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Denny Waring, who is suing Jerry Canning for breach of contract.
Maybe $243 a month didn't get him enough, so he needed to go somewhere else.
Well, but I'm not paying him cash. I'm giving him the products
That's
for
what
free.
I'm saying, but you said it had a value of $243
Absolutely.
a month, which means that there was a certain quantity
Yeah,
that
yes.
went with that value.
Yes.
And perhaps the quantity you were supplying in exchange for the advertising and the marketing wasn't sufficient.
Well, it was
How about that, Mr. Canning?
It was actually too much product for me.
Oh.
So I wasn't even using all of the product. So my agreement with him was to initially talk about it on social media, promote it when I see athletes and such at races and practices and such, which I was doing at the time. I did that for a year. Another company, another store came up to me and asked me if I wanted to do the same for them. Now, I did let them know about the agreement that I have with him.
But you didn't tell Mr. Warren about the new contract.
I did not because at that time it was not necessary. I didn't believe it was necessary.
Why was it necessary to tell the new company about him?
Well, because they wanted me to actually mention their products. I'm not able to mention their products because I'm mentioning his. That was our agreement.
Oh, well, you didn't say that. So you told the new company you could not mention their product.
Exactly.
But what about wearing the logo? Isn't that mentioning them?
Well, but he made the contract, though. If he didn't want me to wear anything else of anyone else, he should have put that in the contract.
Oh,
It's not
you
in
have
the
a written contract?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, let me see it. That always helps. Why you didn't tell me that at the beginning?
Because he doesn't want to lose.
Ooh. But he got you. Exclusive agent. What about that part?
I'm not exclusively using his items, is what I'm saying. He's not paying me to actually wear his products or to mention his products. He's actually giving me the samples, and I promote it for him.
Well, according to paragraph A, it says to wear the company logos in pictures, to mention the products in all forms of press, to use social media to promote business, not including nor limited to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Seems like you covered it all to me.
So he has me as an exclusive
As
agent.
his exclusive agent.
Exactly. I don't have him exclusively as my provider.
Oh.
And see, that would
but
be fine
I don't
to
think
me.
so. I think that's what that phrase means, Mr.
Well-
Canning.
It's not in black and white, Your Honor.
Yeah, I'm reading it. It's in black and gray. The paper's gray. But I'm reading it. It says exclusive agent.
See, and that's the thing. For me, I was thinking, if he had approached me at the
The
first of the
company
year,
shall engage to promote as its authorized exclusive agent the following service or products of the company, which may be changed. And then that's what you signed.
I did.
You forgot what you signed?
No, I didn't. I didn't have a lawyer present or
Oh,
a
well,
judge to.
that's not ever an excuse, honey. Buyer beware.
Now, Your Honor, he's suing me for that amount of money. However, I've made him so much more than that.
That's not the point. It's not a question of how much you've made. You're the one who breached the contract. But here's the interesting part. It says when that happens, he's supposed to return all the product to you. What if he didn't have any?
See which is why I'm asking for the financial recovery of the product that I gave him.
But
So I
that's
have
not what you said in
everything.
your contract, though.
Well, but the thing of it is that I feel like because he was using the product and not fulfilling his agreement and
But
not
I
letting me
was.
know that he had taken on the partnership with the other thing, I feel like he was basically duping me for that product that I was giving him all those 3 months. He was thinking, oh, here's the thing, I'll get some money from these people, I'll get this product from this guy, and now I have everything that I need. And I
Your
just
Honor.
walk away free. And for me, it's the principle of the
No,
matter.
Your Honor, the
Well,
products-
we're not talking, but for you it's principle, but for me it's contract. It's the contract of the matter. Now, if I'm going to enforce the contract on one end, why can't I just go on your feelings on the other side? You said at the termination.
At the termination, he has to return all the product that, if he hasn't been fulfilling his side of the thing, then he needs to return that product for me. And since he cannot return the product,
Now, why
I'm willing
can't I,
to
though?
accept the cash alternative. That
But
he could find it. He could go back and
your
find
contract doesn't say and give you that as an alternative.
You should have seen a lawyer too.
Yeah.
To say, what happens if he breaches my contract? Then what do I do?
See, I guess you don't think
So
of
you
that when
give
it's
it
a
in the
friend.
product, it's gone. He's breached the contract, you don't give him any more product. Judgment for the defendant.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case has been denied.
Like the judge said, I guess I need to be more specific with my contracts and hire a lawyer.
You know, I'm really glad this is over. Your holistic medicines really do work while training, and I just hope that we can go back to being friends.
Coming up,
His armored truck was in the bike lane, and I had to veer into traffic, and I was clipped by oncoming traffic.
Justice with Judge Mablean.
Allergies can hold you back. Break through with non-drowsy Allegra for fast 5-in-1 multi-symptom relief. Break through allergies with Allegra.
You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. Skylar Bell is suing Maxwell Kern in the amount of $370. Mr. Bell claims Mr. Kern owes him for physical therapy bills and 2 parking tickets. Mr. Kern claims he's not responsible for any of the plaintiff's claims.
In the matter of Skylar Bell versus Maxwell Kern, you're suing him for the total of $370, and your allegation is that he caused you to get tickets and the like because of blocking the bike lane.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor. As a matter of fact, it's happened plenty of times, various times with his company and a few other companies. But in this particular day, his armored truck was in the bike lane, and I had to veer into traffic, and I was clipped by oncoming traffic, and was sent to a pretty big medical bill, and I'm trying to get compensation for that, Your Honor.
How much was the medical bill?
About $280.
Oh,
At least
that's
for
not
me.
a pretty big medical bill.
At least for me, it is, Your Honor. I make about $600 a week.
Oh, that's a lot. So $280 medical bill. What part of your body was injured?
My right side, Your Honor.
Right shoulder you pointed
Yes, right
to?
shoulder to my elbow down to my wrist.
Why is the armored truck in your way?
They park in the bike lane. It's happened repeatedly. I've actually confronted Mr. Kern's armored vehicle truck before to try to resolve this matter, this issue, due to the fact that every time they park in the bike lane, I have to veer into traffic, and that's putting my life in danger.
The bike lanes, I know, are specifically defined, but isn't the law, I know it is in California, that if a car is impeding your progress on your bicycles, such that you can't ride in the bike lane, then you go into the street lane, the car lane.
Yes,
And
Your
you
Honor.
have to do so safely.
Yes, Your Honor. That's where the problem is. Half the time, there isn't much space to veer into that lane. Most of the time...
What do you mean it isn't much space?
Oh, well, traffic, people driving don't really respect bicycle riders.
You got
so
to do
I
it when
have
it's safe, just like I have to do when I'm driving a car.
Correct, Your
Change
Honor.
lanes when it's safe.
Correct, Your Honor, but half the time they don't give me that space. They don't give me
No,
that.
they're not going to give it to you. You have to wait.
Exactly, but that also puts me in traffic, and I have to sit there while cars are driving, and that's only
And?
putting me in more danger.
No, you don't see that truck blocking the bike lane before you get to that
Well,
location?
they do sudden stops, Your Honor, and they just literally drive into my lane. Half the time I've been driving behind
Armored
them.
trucks make sudden stops?
Yes, to
Since when?
We make stops at delivered spots as scheduled.
But
Yes.
why are you parking in the bike lane?
Well, unfortunately, Your Honor, we don't get much space between the roads, the bike lanes, and the oncoming traffic, so we have to make do of where we park all the time. I make sure my guys understand the protocols that they have to take in order to park in and out of that jurisdiction. We have several spots that we do understand that the road's a little more narrow than other streets. The ones that we do try to compensate for bikers like this gentleman here. But at the same time, most streets are not accommodating to us as far as space, so we make do. But we try to be efficient and as quick as possible with our deliveries.
Coming up,
two $45 tickets, Your Honor,
And what was that for?
for veering onto traffic.
closed captioning provided by. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Skylar Bell, who is suing Maxwell Kern for $370.
What are you asking of him?
I'm asking for compensation for injury and 2 ticket violations that I received due to the fact that his armored truck is in the bike lane.
What do you want him to do instead of parking in the bike lane?
I would know, Your Honor. I'm not an armored truck service, but there should be some other alternative method to this because it's putting my life in danger, not only my life, but other people who ride bicycles.
When did you get the ticket?
It was about a month ago or 2 months ago.
And how much was the ticket?
Two $45 tickets, Your Honor.
And what was that for?
For veering onto traffic.
For veering into the traffic or for
Yes.
doing so unsafely?
Well, I had to do it suddenly, and then as I did it suddenly, I was observed by a cop, and that's how I got it.
Okay. Armored car trucks have been around a long time. Bicyclists have been around a long time. Bike lanes is a new development in most of the cities, all right? The bike lane is usually closer to the curb than the number 2 lane or the next lane, right? But there's a point of the bike lane that it ends and it allows cars to pull over and park.
Correct, Your Honor.
Is that what we're talking about?
But half the time he's not in those sections. He's in the bike lane, and that's I
Okay,
would
show
say
me what
that's
you're
illegal.
talking about. Show me
Yes,
what you're
Your
talking
Honor. I
about.
have
I
evidence
understand
here.
you have a video or something to show
Yes,
me.
I have video and I have evidence.
Because I really think that you have chosen the wrong forum to bring your complaint. I really think that this is a matter more for the city council and for your state legislature. Usually, streets and roads are governed and controlled by the local city council, your local city government. And I think that's where you need to make your complaint because they're doing the traffic infraction enforcement.
Let me start the video.
Yeah,
I'm just
you
trying
know I
to
can't.
get compensation, Your Honor.
Now, what I'm looking at, Mr. Bell, is a parking lane where there's a truck parked on the curb. Then next to that is a white line and another white line for the bike lane. The armored car is about 4 or 5 feet ahead of this other car, which gives you room to go around this car and go ahead of the armored car and get back in the bike lane.
Technically, he shouldn't even be parked there. I shouldn't even have
Okay,
to go
but
around
so
there.
what? That's not your concern. You're not traffic enforcement. So he gets his ticket for not being parked there technically. You think you're supposed to just ride up on the back of his truck and run into him?
Well, I'm not going to ride around and get hit by another car, Your Honor.
You could ride around. Is this a lane or is this look like a curb? Because it looks like this car's parked.
Yeah, that car's parked. I'm not going
Okay,
to
so
squeeze
why
in
you have to
between
ride
those.
around him to the right? You could go to the left
I'm not
where
going
you
to.
park.
There's no space to squeeze in between those two cars.
Judge Mablean's verdict when Justice with Judge Mablean returns. Promotional consideration provided by. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean.
You're suing the wrong person. If he parks his car wrong, you can't enforce him parking his car wrong. And it's not because his truck is parked wrong that caused you to get hit. It's because you didn't pay close enough attention and make your move before you got to the truck.
I'm trying to stick up for all the bike riders. And you know what?
But you're doing it in the wrong forum.
Everywhere.
Fine, stick up for the bike riders, but you're doing it in the wrong forum. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Your claim has to be heard before the people who have the power to enforce that and to help you, not me. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Get a petition signed. Go to the city, whatever. Stick up for the bicyclists, but not here. This is not the proper place. Judgment for the defendant.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's case has been denied.
I just really think it's very dangerous for your truck to be parked in my bike lane, not only for me, but for other riders. I think you need to think about that.
Look, like the judge said, you're shooting the wrong people, the wrong guy, the wrong business. If you really want to make this change, I suggest you go to city council and change it.
This has been a production of Entertainment Studios.